Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Limitless Crypto. It's an absolute pleasure. It's a new trading week. This makes me extremely excited. We're gonna catch some pips today. We're gonna make some money this week. We're gonna take over the whole game. What about that? Welcome back to Limitless Crypto here. Extremely happy with everything, how everything is going here. The community is absolutely on fire. The crypto community is growing, and this is exactly our plan. Our plan is to blow this whole shit up here. Fantastic that you're here watching right now, putting in the work on a day-to-day basis, showing some love, showing some support, and most importantly, thank you for that like button. I really appreciate that. Let's see what we have here in the building. As always, before I'm going to talk about why Bitcoin potentially within the next 24 hours could potentially make one big move to the upside here before a continuation to the downside here. We're going to talk about everything here. Liquidity is king. We're going to talk about this in a second here. But let's see what we have in the building. We have Martol, Mr. Funbox. Welcome back. Euros. Good to see you, my bro. Ray, Jamie, Cowboy, Johnny, Gavin Dantes, Pavel, my man. Amazing. Funbox. Man, I was like 2 times every time. So much alpha. Feels good to be here for at least a bit of the live today. Fantastic here. Trader Tim. What a legend. What a legend. Everyone was in the crypto VIP crypto channel here where we just had our, pre-analysis, you could say here. I have to say I completely agree with what Tim just said. For the people that were here in the VIP right now, we're going to dive a little bit further to see what we can do. Look at a little more charts here in order to actually see what we can trade. But overall, massive props to Trader Tim for putting in the work and putting in his daily analysis and of course his signals, man. Incredible. Okay. Great to have you here. Let's talk some business here right now. We have to make some money. That's our goal. That's our target here. But most importantly, what's more important than making money is repeating the process over and over again. And the good thing about it is it never gets boring. That's the thing I have with trading. For me, I can look at the charts all day, every day, and it does not get boring to me. Why? Because there's always something that you can learn in order to improve as a trader. Okay. So with that said here, let's talk about Bitcoin, man, because, obviously we all know that Bitcoin has been crashing hard since, you could say the top on a Thursday. Okay. Maybe you don't even realize it, but this is already, we're talking a 15% move to the downside already in a couple of days. Okay. So especially Friday, we saw that major dump, of course. The main reason, of course, was because of the huge outflow of GBTC. Okay, the Grayscale, everyone is selling their Grayscale holdings, potentially putting it into these spot ETFs later on here. So that's what's currently happening. There is a tremendous outflow right now. And you could already see directly when the stock market opened up today that we're still seeing the outflow occurring. Overall, it is a bank holiday, so I do not expect the craziest volatility. But therefore, this is the perfect moment to do our pre-analysis, our work right now for already the next coming hours, including the next coming days ahead of us. Of course, it's a Monday. Therefore, we have a new weekly candle. Is also something that we cannot ignore. We have to understand the macro before we head into the micro, especially when the new week opens. Okay. Now, first of all, let's dive into liquidity because this is definitely something that you need to be aware of. Okay, look at what's happening right now at the moment. Everyone is extremely bearish. Okay, 15% dump, obviously, without a single retracement. Okay, a lot of liquidity right now is getting currently built to the upside right here, as you guys can see. We also follow the yellow lines. You can see right now here that we have been building up tremendous amounts of liquidity to the upside here. However, there is a but. Let's zoom out a little bit and let's go to the monthly. Look here below. This week right there, we're talking about the 40.4 K. Okay. There is roughly sitting around $1 billion in long liquidations right there below. So obviously we all know that this is what they want to put price to. Potentially coming down towards the 40K here. And if you simply zoom out here, that's sitting always below that major trend line that we have been building here, these major wicks. you name it, it's all below that level here. So there is a big chance, guys, that during the next coming days ahead of us here, we will get there. We will get below potentially the $40,000, you know, heading in towards the 39.5, coming all the way down towards this new gap that we have been building here, okay? Or sorry, this new range that caused that last previous expansion. That could be a retest, which is suddenly roughly around 38.5 or something in that matter. But at the same time, we cannot ignore the way it's coming down, okay? And the way it's coming down right now is usually not the way where we would say, okay, this is just going to continue to dump. In most cases, in many scenarios, this looks like we're building, you know, at least some sort of, you know, sell side liquidity right now, in order for us to eventually start coming out here and start potentially move to the upside, you know, somewhere around the 44.4K. And the reason why I'm looking at these two levels here, first of all, we have 43.5, and then we have 44.4, 44.6. These are kind of like the two main levels where I'm looking for short continuations, okay? That does not mean right now that I'm looking for, you know, shorts from here. No, I'm looking for shorts somewhere up there, okay? That's what I'm trying to or actually aim for. We're going to talk about the rest of the market, of course, as well. Very important here. The Bitcoin dominance is coming down significantly. Even better, the Bitcoin dominance has actually closed below its weekly resistance. So the way this, you know, Sunday candle closed here, or this weekly candle closed, it closed below the 51.54%. So that means right now that we are, you know, sitting below that crucial weekly support where we initially bounced from, okay? So you could see that we came up aggressively last week. And then the week after, we saw that immediate reversal once these highs were taken, followed by a closure below. And that closure is absolutely key here, okay? So for the particular reason, I think it's very important to talk about altcoins here, and also a big chance that if Bitcoin recovers, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit, even slightly, that there are going to be tons and tons of buying opportunities in the short term for a lot of these altcoins that then have been coming down over the last couple of hours, days, right here, okay? Coming back to the Bitcoin price first, you know, coming back towards the 30-minute, you know, obviously we know that the majority of liquidity is built up here. At the same time, we also know that if you zoom in a little bit more, that this can also not be neglected right now at this particular moment. So what I want to see here is I want to see Bitcoin, and if you take this to the 15-minute, I want to see Bitcoin coming back towards, you know, any of these lows here, okay? And to see especially how we're going to react around the 41, you know, 41.9K, something in that matter. And just to get a feel of how we bounce, how we react. Okay, that's all. We're not going to sit there and place a long position right away. At least I'm not going to do that right away. I want to see some internal confirmation before there is a possibility to look for, you know, that move to the upside here. And the main reason why I personally believe that this could be happening here is because of the Tether dominance. Okay, the Tether dominance right here. We still have to acknowledge that we have been coming down significantly right here. We have that closure below, which is important if you go to the hourly chart. We came above, fantastic. But the way we're holding here, the way we're kind of formulating this schematic, like it seems that there is a chance of urgent potential that we might be pushing down eventually here. What would invalidate that? That would, in my opinion, be a weekly candle flip, okay? So a weekly bullish candle flip to the upside, breaking the 5.95%, something in that manner. For now, anything below this could still result in some sort of rejection, especially when looking on the lower time frame. Drawing the Fibonacci from high to low here, you know, I was thinking somewhat around the 70.5, 79% for the Tether dominance. So if the Tether dominance comes to this level right here, and we actually get rejected and we create some sort of internal lower low, and we start coming down, I think there is a big chance we're starting to build that, you know, that compression. And therefore, we might be breaking out of that compression aggressively to the downside. And if that happens there, then obviously Bitcoin is going to make that move to the upside right here with the targets 43.5K and the 44.5K, somewhat in that region, which could shoot up to maybe even the 50 or 45K before turning around again. And the reason why is because you have these key levels there. If you look here at this particular low, you can see it right there. You know, around the 43.5, you've been holding above there. We've been holding above there. So this is its first level that we need to break. Secondary, of course, is where we broke from Friday stream. The Friday stream was mainly about that, where we waited for that break to happen or a bounce to happen. We saw the break, okay? We noticed that we saw a breaker. The moment we saw that break happening, we said, okay, only look for shorts at this particular moment right now in the market. That's it. We're gonna look for short setups here. And that's usually what we're looking for now. At least that was the current bias at that particular moment. Now, from a couple setups that play out here, okay, there were not that many limit orders triggered from the last stream, to be honest, because I did had around, and I need to see here, around 8 pairs in my watch list. And I believe that only 2, I need to confirm this right now here. But for example, Bob came down aggressively, tapped into this high here. This is what we discussed on stream. This went into a nice profit. So that's one. Kaspa, I think, never came back towards the limit order where we were looking for a short. Matic, same thing, never came to our limit order. Gala, same thing. Gas played out here pretty well. And Ocean played out really clean. That's the trade that I took myself right away. As you guys can see here, I think that I posted this also in the YouTube setups. This is where I keep you guys updated for all the trades that I talk about on stream. So all the trades that I talk about that are relevant, you know, to the streams on YouTube, I will be sharing, of course, right here with you guys. This was a beautiful 5-to-1 trade setup. Very, very clean. Could have held, you know, 20% open, but I was like, no way. You know, this is potentially leading in towards, you know, get out, get my money in. Could have held 20%, to be honest, when thinking about it. Because even with a retracement, this was even worth another potential trade opportunity. But the way it was building that liquidity, I was like, I'm not that sure anymore. But anyways, that turned out to be a very nice trade. So no losses, but not every single trade got hit. There were only a couple that really paid off here. And the best one was, of course, Ocean in this case, from the Friday stream. Now, obviously, we're going to look at a couple of new setups today, which I think are extremely interesting to look at in the very, very short term. In regards to Bitcoin, I really quickly still want to go to the weekly time frame with you guys before we're going to go back to the lower time frames and just go over what we just discussed here. Because, yeah, I'm very interested to see, first of all, what will happen around the 41.8K. If we start seeing a reaction, bullish reaction internally, then we might experiencing that bounce here. We could also assume that today will be bearish and tomorrow we will kind of see that relief bounce happening. You know, so the end of the week, you know, can be again another continuation to the downside. So you open bullish, bearish, you flip bullish, and then midweek you start flipping bearish again, somewhat in that manner. Now, why is that important? Now, the weekly time frame, of course, cannot be neglected here. I'm going to give you all the confluences right here so you understand why the $48,000 was such a critical level to take in consideration right here. And, you know, this just when you see this, okay, before I'm going to actually talk about these levels here, just understand that, you know, go a little bit back to last week. Okay, we all talked about the spot ETF. We all talked about how exciting it was and how hyped up everyone was and everything. And it's so easy when you get, you know, caught up in that mindset of everyone thinking Bitcoin, $100,000. We're going to go straight to the moon. That mindset, it's so easy to start neglecting these critical key levels right here, okay? I'm going to give you all these confluences right now and you tell me if you would buy here, okay? That's what I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Would you buy here, okay? Number one, the weekly area of supply, of course. We talked about the weekly area of supply here. That was a key level. You know, obviously we know that this is an area of supply that got rejected already. You know, this was a clear rally-based, drop-based drop to the downside, retest, rejection. Okay, fantastic. That was one. Secondary, of course, we had horizontal resistance sitting around $47,000. That was a key level also to take in consideration right here. It was this high right here. Fantastically, you could see that we constantly had that, you know, these confluences around that critical key level of $47,000, which was also the monthly high. Okay, the previous monthly highs of, you know, that last high, that last stop before that major sell-off right here. Then we have the Fibonacci. Okay, take the Fibonacci from swing high to swing low. And look what kind of perfection we're seeing right here, okay? This is what we call, and let me increase this a little bit for you so you see it a little bit better. There we go. The 618 Fibonacci on the weekly time frame. So this is the swing high. This was the swing low. This was at 69K. This was at 15K. 618 rejection right here. So horizontal resistance, area of supply, weekly, 618 weekly. Okay. Now combine this with that major trend line that we're seeing right here. Okay. At the same time, a lot of people use trend lines as well. You see that this was the moment when we broke here. This is kind of when we saw that major drop off, when the actual bear market was confirmed. You see right now that we saw a retracement all the way back up here towards that key level, which was also, of course, that major trend right here at the same time. Okay. Then, last but not least, absolutely key here, the fixed range volume profile from this big weekly range right here. And what do we see? We have the value area high right here sitting at around the $45,000 right here on the weekly. You can see clearly that we have not closed a single weekly candle above that value area high level right here. So one more time, guys, should we buy Bitcoin spot from this level? That's all I want to say right now. So when you hear guys talking about the spot ETF and extremely hyped up and everything that's happening right here, you know, the amount of resistance from all angles, literally all angles, is just simply absolutely ridiculous. So obviously we have to find a little bit of a pullback here in many ways from a technical standpoint, macro technical standpoint. At the same time, we also understand from a fundamental standpoint right now that BlackRock and all these other institutions right now are also not excited to start accumulating here. They want the best for their clients. Therefore, the lower the price, the better it is, especially because the halving is yet to come in April. That could be another catalyst. So it would be better to accumulate as much as possible before that halving occurs. And therefore, obviously, technicals and fundamentals are going, in my opinion, hand in hand here. Okay, we can go even a little bit deeper. We can talk about the dollar, we can talk about gold, a couple other things as well, but I think I leave it with this for now here. All kinds of reasons why a pullback is, in my opinion, realistic. It's nothing to worry about. It's all part of the game here. Okay, so does it mean we can only short Bitcoin? That's up to you. We can always catch a little bounce here. I think you miss out on too many opportunities if you do not look and try to anticipate a bounce, in that manner. I think there are many instances where so many altcoins just move up regardless, especially when the Bitcoin dominance comes down here. So therefore, I'm definitely interested in trading these bounce setups to the upside, but maybe just not yet for, long-term holdings. I think it's maybe better to just be a little more patient for some sort of holdings right now until further confirmation from Bitcoin. But for trade setups, tremendous amount of opportunities right here at this particular moment. Okay, so for now the tether dominance is starting to come down here. Bitcoin is kind of starting to push a little bit to the upside. Let's see how serious this move actually is. We will find out in about 20 minutes, I think, when the hourly candle closes. I think this is where we will find or get the most information and opportunities right here. Okay, that's that. Yeah, let's talk about a couple of trades right now that I'm personally interested in. I am still personally right now in my VeChain long position as well, which I entered at 29.441. We're up 1.6% because I'm trying to time that bounce for these type of altcoins right here right now at the moment. The reason why is because of the tether dominance, key levels right here, the Bitcoin dominance coming down. I do believe that if we're going to see a bounce, that altcoins have an advantage here over Bitcoin right now based upon the market here. Of course, we have still been being red in the last hour, but you can slowly but steadily already see right now that we are starting to flip green here. So the goal and the idea is, if we want to catch some trades together and if you want to find the best possible scenarios and setups, I think it's the best idea right now to find a balance between a couple of long setups and a couple of short setups before we move forward here. And then your question is going to be, yeah, but how do I know which longs and which shorts then I need to take or not to take when price gets to my entry? Well, that's a very good question, my friend. We're going to talk about this a lot. We actually talk about this every single stream. And that is what we call market sentiment. It's an absolute necessity for you to understand what the market sentiment is, especially in the cryptocurrency market, because it can change at any given moment. Boom, the market flips, turns around, and your short is no longer valid, or your long is no longer valid. So you always have to be aware of what the market sentiment is telling you, okay? And the Tether dominance helps you tremendously. The Bitcoin dominance helps you tremendously. The overall sentiment from a, fundamental standpoint, as well as, on Twitter, but don't get caught up too much by that. I think these key technical layers are by far the best possible indicators right here. So for example, Tether dominance is in resistance, fantastic. We get rejected, we break internal structure, so we create a lower low, lower high. Therefore, potential altcoins are potentially more interesting, but that all depends on the Bitcoin dominance. Then you go to the Bitcoin dominance and you're like, okay, now the Bitcoin dominance creates for now also lower lows and lower highs right here. We might see more downside potential. So if the Tether dominance gets rejected right here at a critical zone, an area of resistance or support, or an area of supply or demand, whatever you trade right here, the Bitcoin dominance is that confirmation of what you should be looking for. Yeah. Therefore, if the Bitcoin dominance is strong, I tend to, potentially look for, Bitcoin setups here. If the Bitcoin dominance is weak, I tend to go and dive more into these type of altcoin setups here. But of course, it also depends on the Tether dominance. It's kind of that pyramid formation. Okay. So we're going to talk about, that pyramid formation right here. I also created a 3.5-hour course for other people that are interested in it. It's a free course. Okay, you can get access to it if you get into our VIP right here, which is also free to join. But it's most importantly, the course itself explains exactly what I'm talking about. So before we go and do our analysis here quickly, we have this triangle formation. Okay, that's what I, really. There we go. It could have been a little bit more artistic, Lorenzo. But anyways, okay, let's talk about number one, the Tether dominance. Okay, this is number one. Tether dominance right here. Okay, Bitcoin and the BTC dominance right there. Okay, and then we create one more arrow, man, just to clarify it. Altcoins. Okay, so what you want to see the following. Okay, if the Tether dominance is coming down, okay, and this is something that you need to know. If the Tether dominance is coming down here and the Bitcoin dominance is coming down, then what are we going to trade? Let me know in the chat right now. What are we looking for? So if the Tether dominance is coming down and the Bitcoin dominance is coming down, what are we going to trade? And how are we going to trade it? Let me know in the chat here before we go over all the setups right here. Okay. That's what we have. Funbox. Altcoins to the moon. Exactly. So Tether dominance in resistance. Bitcoin dominance breaking critical resistance, for example, on a weekly time frame, whatever the case may be here. I kind of stick with the higher time frame a lot on the Bitcoin dominance. I try to avoid too much lower time frame hustle. In my opinion here, I try to stick with these key levels. I think that's way more than enough here to start seeing what's happening on that front here. So indeed, if the Tether dominance is coming down and the Bitcoin dominance is coming down, that means that people are buying cryptocurrencies, okay? Because Tether is coming down. That means that people are swapping their Tether for cryptocurrencies, but they're not putting it into Bitcoin, okay? Because that would mean that the Bitcoin dominance would go up. If they put it in Bitcoin, most likely, if the majority puts it in Bitcoin, Bitcoin would gain dominance over the overall market. That's not the case. Bitcoin dominance is coming down. Therefore, it has to go somewhere else. Altcoins is, of course, the way to go. Okay, so if the Tether dominance now goes up, okay, right here, and the Bitcoin dominance goes up, what is the best opportunity for us? The last one was longing altcoins, okay? But what happens if the Tether dominance goes up and the Bitcoin dominance goes up? What are we going to trade then? Beautiful. Yeah, Funbox says alt longs before Way one long alts, Ray long alts long. Fantastic, exactly. Marton says altcoin shorts. Boom. Shout out to Marton. There we go. I was waiting for that one, my man. Exactly. So Tether dominance goes up. Okay, people are selling their cryptocurrencies. Okay, that's a fact. Why? Tether dominance is going up tremendously. People are selling their crypto for Tether. That's usually what's happening right now. When people are fearful, they get out of the market. The first and most logical thing to do is to put it in some sort of stable coin that's always one. So you don't demolish, your own portfolio here. But if the Bitcoin dominance goes up as well, okay, that means that more people are sticking with Bitcoin. That means that more people are selling altcoins, okay? So Bitcoin is gaining dominance while the Tether dominance is going up. So for that particular reason, you have to understand that if that's the case, okay, altcoins in particular will get absolutely wrecked, okay? That means that all the people that are selling here are selling altcoins for Tether here. So more people are selling altcoins than more people are selling Bitcoin, okay? Sometimes there is a divide that people are selling their altcoins and they put it back partially into Bitcoin and partially into Tether, for example. Okay, so with a simple pyramid and a simple schematic here, you kind of get the hang of the sentiment, okay? That's just, based upon that information that you have right here. Now, secondary, which I think is actually important, is of course, okay, yeah, I get this part, but how do I know which one now is in resistance or is now in support? Or how do I know that one is going up and one is going down here? Well, this is where market structure comes into play. A really good understanding of market structure is, in my opinion, key. Starting very simple with the macro, horizontal levels, the highs, the lows, the lower lows, the lower highs, the higher highs, and the higher lows. You want to understand what's happening here. So in this case, what did we do on the market dominance right now? The Bitcoin dominance, we created a higher high and we now created a lower low. We also came below that weekly support. Okay, this was that beautiful support that we had here. We shoot up. I was like, man, Bitcoin is going to the moon. Not really, okay, because we flipped and turned around here and we started to come down significantly below, breaking that key level right here, okay? So we now closed a weekly candle below the 51.5% right here, and therefore you can see right now at the moment that we're kind of having already difficulties with pushing further up. We might see a little bit of a pullback, but this could easily result into a further continuation to lower levels right here, back towards the 50%. So now you know that the Bitcoin dominance is on the weaker side, okay? At the same time, the Tether dominance right now is interesting, okay? Because yes, on the higher time frame, you could say, okay, we are looking strong, but at the same time, when you're looking at, this high right here, this high is still the major high that we need to look out for, okay? The reason why is because this high as well, by the way, these two highs right here are absolutely key. And the reason why is because as long as we trade below these levels, I am more tempted in looking for longs than for shorts, unless, of course, you're somewhat around here, okay? And you start pushing up and you create that internal, push up here after that manipulation to the downside, then starting to build up that liquidity, followed by that breakout, okay? These are typical patterns that you can find in the market very easily. But if you see that, then of course there is some more upside potential. But at this particular moment, with zooming in right now, okay, it is super important to start looking now at internal structures. And now it comes down to, what is the time frame you trade on? Okay, are you a day trader? You most likely have to look at, the 15, 30 minutes, the 1 hour. If you are a scalper or anything on that front here, you might be looking at the 5 to 15 minute for the Tether dominance right now. Okay. In my opinion, this is an absolute key level to look out for. And I'm never the guy that's just going to go boom right away. I'm always waiting, especially with the Tether dominance, for that little bit of extra confirmation. And the way the way to do that is, for example, you put your area of resistance, okay? In this case, this is an area of resistance which I'm looking for, the 5.88%. I'm gonna wait for price to pull back into that zone. I'm gonna look at the last low, okay? For example, let's say we create this low, we create a high. Okay, now we have this low and this high. And if we start breaking this low, so if this high breaks this low and we pull back up and we start breaking down, boom, I have a really good feeling the fact that we might be able to take a push further to the downside. So then I'm saying, okay, the Bitcoin dominance is weak. The Tether dominance might be breaking down. I wait for confirmation. Once that confirmation is there, boom, fantastic. My bias is set to altcoin long setups. Okay, then I go, what I do is the following. I go into my watch list, for example, or whatever. I go into my Bitcoin, my BitCat futures, and I'm gonna scroll through all kinds of different setups, different pairs, whatever I want to look for. Okay, and then anything I'm looking for is just, I'm gonna get right now maybe 5 or 6 long setups. Okay, and I'm gonna put in 2 short setups, 2 of my favorite short setups right here. Okay, and I'm all gonna put them into a watch list. And I wait for the Tether dominance to see how we react. And if my bias changes, if we break this critical level, I might think, okay, maybe it's time to look for these short opportunities. Maybe these short opportunities are more appealing, more interesting. Maybe I can start looking for Bitcoin shorts or altcoin short setups. At least I always have a backup plan. If my bias gets invalidated, I do not have to start over again, doing and completely cleaning up my analysis here and start looking into shorts again, because then I'm always that one step behind, if you guys know what I'm talking about right here. So for the particular reason, now the majority right now of my altcoin watch list setups that I'm looking for are long. That minority now is short. Still, regardless, I'm putting it into my watch list right here. Okay, I hope that makes sense here. A little bit of a 30-minute introduction. This is what we're doing and this is what we're looking for at this particular moment. So therefore, I do highly recommend to come up with some setups right here. Let's do our daily overall analysis here. Of course, the best ones I personally like, I'm going to put it in our watch list. And of course, I'm going to reflect and see what we can do here. So far, I'm actually quite impressed. We have been performing very well here, even though we had the spot ETF and a bunch of drama, in between. I think that from this week onwards, I think, everything, will be extremely clear again. I think, with the spot ETF behind us right now, we can get back to work. Okay, truly back to work here. So yeah, let's look at a couple of fantastic setups here. The majority long, couple of shorts, and we all put it together, and then we confirm, of course, our bias right here. Oh yeah, last thing I wanted to share was the Ethereum chart. I think this is key. Ethereum has closed below the $2,500. Okay, so we were extremely bullish in regards to the Ethereum spot ETF and everything that's coming right now. So people are kind of preparing for it at this particular moment. People are starting to buy Ethereum at this case right now. But like we said before, we wanted to see a weekly closure above the 2,510 roughly. Okay, which is this low right here. We did close a weekly candle below it. Okay, so it's important to mention that for the big caps right here, especially Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on and so on, we have to pay very close attention to this key level, and I think this is a level that you should put an alert on, and that is the 24.72. And the reason why is because if you flip this candle bearish, okay, boom, what you need to do is simple. You need to flip that candle bearish, and then you think, okay, fantastic. We might be flipping, we might be getting rejected here from that weekly resistance right now. We had a weekly candle closure below weekly resistance. Our next candle comes up first, creates a top wick, flips bearish. These can usually, reflect into very safe, almost, well, safe in trading terms, safe, okay, potential trade setups right here on the higher time frame. So if you are somebody that has a job and is busy and a lot of things right here, what I recommend you to do is when you trade, okay, I understand that you cannot look at all these setups that I'm currently looking for all the time, you know, on the 30-minute chart, 50-minute chart, the 1-hour chart, you know, wait for the Monday candle to open up. Look for these key trades that close below weekly resistance. Wait for the next candle to develop. Create a top wick. Wait for it to flip bearish. Enter when it flips bearish. Stop loss above the wick. Target next month. TP, previous high. Boom. Done. That's it. So if you are, you know, have an incredible hard day job, whatever the case may be, you don't have that much time. Couple of key, you know, alerts on the weekly. Wait for the weekly flip. The Monday is extremely important. You have to be synchronized with the week. Boom. Amazing setups. You have a couple thousand cryptocurrencies to choose from. Okay? So good luck. Very, very interesting here. Okay, let's get to work, guys. Hope that helped here. If you do like what we do here, then smash up that like button, man. Come on. All that value, all that effort, all that love from me to you. Hit the like button right here. It would highly help, of course, the algorithm and everything that we're building here. And, you know, I appreciate your effort here. Okay. Our Vince says Ordi. That's a great start. That's a good start. So Ordi, you know, the hype around Ordi has been absolutely insane right now at the moment here. I'm very, very impressed with how Ordi is performing. On the higher time frame, of course, look at how we have been consistently coming up here. Every single time when we came up, we consolidated, we expanded. Consolidated, expanded, consolidated, expanded. But, there is a but. After every single expansion, obviously we have to understand that, you know, you have to come down at some point, okay? You always have to think, okay, do people really want to buy Ordi at $72? Whereas just a couple of months ago, it was sitting at around $3, okay? That's, you know, we're talking a 30x here. You know, people are like, I'm not that particularly sure anymore. And this is exactly what you see right now. You know, this is just asking for a major squeeze to the downside. And at some point, in my opinion, this, you know, we're going to break down here. Now, if Bitcoin comes down, you know, already semi-interconnected here, this might be pushing further to the downside right here as well. So, of course, the key confirmation is below this horizontal level, which is 65.667. I don't even have to explain you why. Okay, you see it right here. Support, support, resistance, trend line. So double support right there. You want to close below this level and we get rejected and then flip it into resistance. And then I think very quickly, you are going to start seeing a further continuation, you know, to the downside right here. So at this particular moment, yeah, okay, this is good. Good in games. This is the high, the low, lower high. We're constantly taking out internal highs, creating internal higher highs here. Am I interested in a long? Yeah, well, anyways, maybe around here. There is still a potential scenario where, you know, this might be a solution. Why? Because you manipulate the lows. So you take out stop losses for sure. There are definitely some stop losses below that level. This is the high that created a higher high. That's good. So this is still a long potential scenario for further continuation in towards. Need to go to the 8-hour. No, okay, that's interesting by the way. Daily. Every single gap is filtered. Maybe for double confirmation, but obviously we all know that the best setup is going to be when you break below the 64.9. That's truly where you're going to come down significantly and where you come back towards lower levels here. That could result into still a major push to the downside, which I'm looking at this level, which is like you maybe not believe me now, but it's possible. If we start breaking below here and Bitcoin is not there yet, and the Bitcoin halving is still like 100 days away, and we start pushing down until then you never know where you can still get to. But anyways, what's important is this level right now and that break below here. All right, let's see. So far, I think for the watch list, this is a little bit too far away. But, you know, it's definitely something to look at. I'm going to set an alert right there. The beautiful thing about this is as well that you guys give me these nice setups, you know. Something that I can just set my alerts for and then see from there. Please explain ETC, BTC coin. We can do that in a second here. Apex. Yeah, let's do that. Maxi, I want to see Maxi here. All right, it got released later, so okay, let's do Bybit. Yeah, looking good still. Nothing to say. You might think, okay, that's you know, a serious expansion. It definitely is. I do not know enough about this project yet here, but what I can see is that this lower low and this higher high is still good. So we took out the lows and we created a higher high. We come back to the center of that range, the ATR you could say, or you know, the point of control of that range, for example, right here. And then you know, you start pushing back and you start continuing to the upside right there. And if you break this low, you get invalidated. It's very straightforward trading. You wait for a reaction here. If the reaction is good, the volume is good, the sentiment is in your favor right there, then, you know, you have like a chance of going long at 209, which is a great level to look for, $2.09. And if you come down and you start breaking below here, you're invalidated. And you can change your bias into shorts coming down towards the 145. So that's how I look at it. A pullback, retracement, continuation, or, you know, an actual, you know, reversal followed by confirmation, followed by a trade to the downside right here. I don't think this is tradable on futures though. So the only thing to do, okay, it is. Oh no, it isn't. Okay, so yeah, then this is kind of irrelevant right now. Then this only pushes an interesting one. Stop loss below the lows. Billy X says Pulse Chain and Hex are flying. Gavin says Xi. Yeah, that's an interesting one to look at right now. Yeah, this one is absolutely skyrocketing here since it got released on Binance around a week ago. So it came down super aggressively first. After that, we immediately got recovered here. It was a Binance listing. And then after that break, you know, the last 2 days has been absolutely on fire. So once again, whenever you see that momentum here, sometimes it's just better to just understand these daily levels one more time here, okay? So closures and opens of daily candles are so important sometimes when you're in momentum. This is the perfect example. So, for example, right here, just let's go back a little bit. There we go. So, for example, this is kind of the high that we were looking at. This is the previous daily candle. So this is yesterday, okay? We gained, I don't know, 50%. So there is apparently crazy hype behind this project, okay? Then the next candle opens up. It comes down. It creates that bottom wick. And then it flips that previous candle, that body of that previous candle right here. And then you can see right there, if you go and enter right at that flip, stop loss below the wick, you are now at a 3.7 to 1. That's it. 2 candles. Not 50 candles on the lower time frame. 2 candles. The daily candle, okay? Momentum, understanding momentum in the projects. Daily closure, daily open, daily flip, daily entry. Boom. Flip, stop loss below, take profit. Perfect entry. You know, instead of trying to get your entry perfectly right here in the 50-minute, could be the case here. It's a beautiful entry, by the way. Nothing wrong with it. But simplicity sometimes is key. And again, anything above a 3-1 is absolutely fantastic. So if the wick is not that crazy, the better it is in my opinion. And it's definitely worth the risk. Maybe one time it comes down again. Fine. You enter on the second one. And that's it. Okay. So for now, yeah, what can I say here? Just bullish. This is kind of too late. I'm not interested in this one right now for a trade. The crypto Euro says H-bar long analysis from the weekly to the 15-minute. Let's do it. H-bar from the weekly to the 15-minute. Okay. Fantastic. Let's do that. Let's do that. Where is my... there we go. H-bar. Alright. You know what? Let's go spot first. Okay. So weekly resistance, right? Key level, super clean, super clear. No question about it, okay? Look at this body. I'm always putting weekly levels, by the way. I never put weekly levels at wicks. Okay, not saying never, but 90% of the time, my horizontal levels are in these type of bodies. I'll show you why. Look at this. This is a clear body of a clear break. Okay. Look how we came back. We tapped into it once. We got rejected right there flawlessly. So this was, again, a weekly candle closure. A fake out. The weekly closure below. Like I said before, if you want to buy something, wait at least for a weekly body confirmation. Okay. A weekly candle closure. People got wrecked here. People start buying here. Price came down all the way. Secondary, next candle. Flipped. Same scenario, okay? Very, very similar. Now, coming back towards the next layer, same level. Again, clear rejection right now. This is not looking strong. Not looking strong on the weekly. This is not where I would look for a reversal play. Why? Because you just came from this range. You got rejected to very area low. And you start, you know, continuing its momentum here to the downside. So it really needs to happen here. Even though this was a nice move overall, I have to say it's like a lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Maybe on the hourly, but let's see. Tether is coming down. Tether is getting there. We have not seen a lower low yet, by the way. So that's good to know for us here. So the momentum on H-bar is not that good in my opinion here. Yeah, this might be interesting. But I think it's too far. It's too close at the weekly levels and at rejection of the previous week. It's just too weak, in my opinion still. Too risky. The reason why is also look at this weekly candle right here. And look at how it doesn't have a bottom wick. And how you could see this easily flip bearish. When you see this on the weekly, and you try to catch these long opportunities, might not be the best choice yet. This is a much more interesting level to start looking for confirmations right here. Or from local support at 7.5. So that's the only way I would look at it. When you come towards this level right here. Yeah, right there. Okay. Martel says, I'm always amazed how powerful those weekly lines are. Weekly horizontal levels in crypto, man. It's like, it's magical. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So for now, Neutral, but not really looking for longs yet. Not yet, at least. Let's see what we have here. Phantom. Bart Simpson says Rose close to weekly support. That is interesting right here. Okay. Yeah. Boom. That's nice. That's great. That's good. Okay. Higher high, flipping potential, resistance to support. Fantastic. Weekly level. Done. The 4 hour. Low, higher high. Love it. Great. 1 hour. Boom. This was the low. That created this higher high. We created temporary lows that created a higher high. We then manipulated these highs, these lows. Why? Because people get too greedy. People don't take out their stop losses. People are in positions here. They're long. They're in a beautiful trade. And then they don't take profits or whatever. So then price has to come down to take out these lows. That's now been done. So that's taken. So that's a key, pattern you could say where you see weekly level, higher high, temporary double bottom. You then manipulated the double bottom. You come back to that initial key level on the weekly, which aligns now perfectly with a 1 hour zone. You wait for price to push back into that zone right here. You can either say, okay, I'm going to go aggressive. That's up to you. Right here, and you target, the temporarily range, which is in 4 to 1 on your money. So that's a scenario that's interesting. Another one is a lower low, internal higher high, breakout, lower time frame entry, looking for the same target, which is then going to result in maybe something like this with a tighter stop loss, targeting the highs. Could result into a 6 to 1. It's not a big difference. It's not a big difference. Well, it depends how you see it. But I like this one. I like this one, bro. Very, very good. Rose, weekly support, internal structures, fantastic. Manipulated to lows. At the same time, liquidity building to the upside. Gap above, beautiful range. No, I love it. This one we're going to add to the watch list. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing. Fantastic. Okay. Marton says Phantom. Let's do that. Phantom, eh? What has Phantom been doing this weekend? Weekly level. As clear as it gets. Weekly support as well, though. So we have this Air of the Month here. Beautiful candle structure right there. So we have been tapping into that zone. Which is at the 50%. This is also a nice clean range. This was just a fake move to come down further. Swing low to swing high. Yeah, 70.5, 79. Okay. I see a level. I see a fantastic level here. Boxwell, my man, thank you for the sub. Amazing here. And if you're new and watching, make sure you smash up that like button. You hit subscribe. You hit the notification bell. We are trading here 5 days a week. Okay. Most importantly, whatever I talk about here is gonna get shared in the YouTube section in our Discord. So if you want to know exactly how these trades play out that we analyze together, then follow or get into our Discord right now. Click on the link. And fantastically, you will be granted access to our Discord in no time. Boom. And you will be updated, okay? Perfectly updated in regards to everything that we talk about here right now. Okay. So Phantom right here. Coming back towards this bigger range. This was the high, the weekly high. This was a nice clean range. This is the value area high. This aligns with the 70.5%. So I'm willing to wait for a price reaction in this zone. It also aligns super clean with this area of the month right here. And of course, we still have a little bit too much sell side liquidity built up below here as well. So what you want to see is you want to take this out first. You want to come down towards the downside. You want to tap into the value area high. You want to create a higher high. Then your high low is your trade. And boom, voila. You have your entry. Aggressive entries, of course. Entry at 3415. Stop loss at 3237. It's going to be a 5% stop loss. So if you want to risk, let's say $100, then you can put like a 20x on it if you want to. If you want to do it this way. And then you target that gap that we have sitting above there. Right here. Could be really clean. Really nice. I think the value area high is fantastic. The confirmation is even better. If you see a reaction from the value area high, you create an internal high, and then the higher low is your trade. And then you can always say, you know what, the 7-to-1, I'm just going to make this a 5-to-1, but at least I have my confirmation. My stop loss is still below the 3237. Okay, so that could be somewhat of an idea that when you create a higher high, higher low, that you start building enough of this liquidity once again to the upside. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, so it's an example. And you take a trade before it breaks out, not when it breaks out, because when it breaks out, first of all, you're going to ruin your risk to reward. Now your initial 4 or 5-to-1 or even 7-to-1 turns into a potential, what, 2-to-1, if so, 1.5-to-1. Right, so that's why we do not enter at trend line breaks. The risk to reward is just not worth it. And the confirmation is not worth it. So you want to get in before, based upon the structure. And therefore, I think that this could be a fantastic trade opportunity. This is the aggressive variant. And this is the non-aggressive variant. This is the confirmation. Overall, very, very clean. Really nice phantom potential. Yeah, thank you for sharing, man. I really like it. Really good chart. Clean. The weekly, I think this is a drop for roughly already around 37%, leading into a 40% discount for phantom. So you're sitting on the right end here. Okay. Very nice. Thank you for sharing, man. Phantom and Rose, both beautiful short-term bounce, long opportunities. Bitcoin right now is starting to make a little bit of a move here. The Tether dominance is getting rejected. I thought it was going to be rejected from the 70.5, 79% from this zone. A little bit earlier so far. But it seems that we are flipping here. So this is interesting to see. If that's the case, then, boom, we're coming down here. Tim and I were both on the same page here. Tim had, in my belief, the same exact bias as well for the Tether dominance. So, yeah, no. Long setups for sure. Phantom and Rose, amazing. Thank you guys for the really amazing setup that you're sharing here. Cosmos says, hacks. My good old friend, Richard, created a beautiful little Ponzi scheme called Hacks. It's amazing. I would highly... I love it. Spot. Okay. No, I love Ponzi schemes. If you're one of the first, if you're on top of the food chain, right? That's just the reality here. Okay. Wow, look at that. Look at this is crazy, man. Top to bottom. Oh, a slick 99% drop. So the only way is up, right? We'll see. We'll see. What needs to happen, obviously, right now is the weekly candles right here. This weekly low needs to be broken. So anything below this is untradeable. You can talk about accumulation there. if you believe in the project. The true confirmation lays when this gets broken and when you flip this into weekly support. This is kind of that hidden level, okay? At 18.295, boom, you come back towards this zone, you flip this particular, area of resistance right now, okay? You flip that then into support, and from there on, the continuation is endless. You have no idea how big you can go up here. Even this already is like a 200% move. I'm not even talking about the highs and stuff. I do believe that this could come back and break this low and see how we can look for further continuation. For now, shorting, nah. But it's getting somewhere. It's getting somewhere. I think it's just a matter of time before this gonna get broken, before we will see a potential move here. From a technical trader standpoint, the best confirmation is obviously when you break above the 18.295 and then look for that continuation to the upside right here. Okay. Yes, I know. If you are a true believer, then this is the moment to buy. Obviously, it creates that that compression, but as a trader and looking for confirmation, that's the level to look at. 100%. Okay, I would love to see a couple more setups here. Billy Joe is pumping them out here. BRWL, tons of liquidity above the last weekly candle. Current weekly is flipping, but may target the liquidity above here. BRWL. We have just a couple charts here, so we need a couple more. What if altcoins show a buy signal and then Bitcoin goes down? Then you have to look at the Bitcoin dominance. How strong, if the Bitcoin dominance is weak, because altcoins will not probably get hit that hard when Bitcoin comes down here. Keep in mind, Bitcoin has already dropped a 50% here, okay? Just wanted to make sure that you understand that we have been coming down already 16% already, and that we are building a tremendous amount of liquidity to the upside right now at the moment here. Let me refresh it real quick. But yeah, we have a significant amount of reasons for a short-term bounce right now. But again, you always have to confirm your own bias when you look at your entries, because you can find yourselves now in the moment it gets to your entry. Maybe the chart has shifted. Highly recommend to go a little bit back towards the previous let's say the early 15-20 minutes of the stream in that case here. Okay, we were talking about BRWL key zone, obviously it's right here. Yeah. Yeah, this is just looking, yeah, this is the 1 hour, right? Yeah. Major weekly rejection here. And weekly closure below. So that's usually very bearish. It's not a good sign here. Massive indeed, like you said, potential liquidity here. So a break of the 9469 is interesting. Is interesting. But like I said here, this is not a momentum play, right? This is a reversal play. When it's a momentum play, then it's interesting. Then it's interesting to look for that continuation, that candle flip, and that bullish continuation to the upside. When it's a reversal play, and when it's a key weekly rejection right here, then I would be careful with trying to enter on these flips here. So there are rules, in my opinion. In my opinion, you should test it to see how it goes still. But it's not the intention that I had when talking about the momentum shift here. What I now see is the hourly zone, which is just right here, very, very clear. Just this particular level right here at 75112 here. This was that last premium, that last consolidation before an expansion of roughly you know, over 250%. So the fact that you come down all the way, since, you know, we're talking about not even a week ago, crazy to me. Yeah, this is where things get interesting. But again, don't rush into positions. They might want to manipulate the lows before. So just simply wait for lower, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. Boom. Entry. Done. Pavel says, Gala Games. Gala Games. Yes, we're waiting. We're waiting for the gaming narrative to explode again. I'm waiting for the gaming narrative again. Heavily exposed to the gaming narrative. So, yeah. Hopefully we're going to see some sort of expansion soon, but we'll find out. We're patiently waiting. We have some cash. We have some liquidity, you know, to inject later on in case price drops a little bit further. But again, weekly resistance at 34.73. Why? Low, low, high. Right there. Okay, super clean. Low, low, high. Very, very important. 1 second, guys. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, very important. Lower, low, lower, high. Rejection is still in play here. Okay. So yes, you had a beautiful breakout. Fantastic. It was in November. Beginning of November when the gaming narrative started to break. Now you're going to see the retest of it. So now it's time for the retest of that breakout. And this is on the weekly. So of course it takes some time here. Which is this one. Okay. Which is around the 21 cents for Gala Games. I think that's the key level to look at. Why? Well, this is number one. Okay, this was the low, the all-time low. Of course, before release, like after the bear market. This was the high. This was a higher high. Okay, so we broke this previous high after we swiped the lows. So that's usually a reversal play. Now you come back for you know, you could say last time towards a key level. In this case, you could say that that key level is sitting around the 618 here. So this is the 618 on the weekly time frame. After I've manipulated the lows, after having seen a market shift towards the upside right here, these are all major signs of a reversal coming into play right now at the moment. After the trend gets broken here, so what you want to see is you want to tap into this zone with a body. First, we have not seen a single wick entering this zone yet. You then want to look for a structure to the upside. This is not for today, but I just wanted to show you right now how close we are to a weekly shift here for Gala Games, because this could provide you with tremendous opportunities, man. I mean, we're talking about an easy 60% move to the upside here. If you literally just wait for a price to get back towards the 21.41, I do think this is a fantastic level to start looking at. Okay, now when taking this to the lower time frame, yeah, I have the same zone. We took out the lows here. We have built that liquidity below. The stop losses were built out, aggressively taken out. One more time, the shorters that entered too late got taken out right here, and now price is moving down while building already new liquidity to the upside here. So this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see them building new liquidity in the opposite direction while it comes down towards these macro levels that can give you that confirmation. These are usually the highest probabilities, setups, investments, you name it. If you can be patient enough for price to push down towards this zone, you have an amazing buy opportunity for Gala Games. If you really want to take a trade, what then needs to happen is that you need to start coming back towards this range. You're holding above the zone. Yeah, this is the only short I would take here. Some sort of fake out play. So coming back towards its range, a fake break of that trend line, followed by a reversal towards that weekly zone. That's the only short I would take. which would then bring us to the point of control of that level, which is at 28.03. We're right at the middle. I'm not a big fan of looking for trades right now here at the moment. We might be holding. You also can see that we're compressing here. You know, we're creating these levels right now. We might be seeing a breakout soon. So this could be the perfect short, okay? Again, a major manipulation. So this range right there, you know, compressing. We all know what the weekly is saying. The weekly is telling us right here. We are creating, let's say, that compression between this range and between this range. You start coming down, you start to compress, you break up, boom, Bitcoin shoots up as well, Gala Games follows, and you sell off aggressively. That's the one of the best short opportunities I would look at, because you induce so many people to go long, and you trap so many traders as well here. So I think this is a great opportunity. For now, can you then potentially trade this long towards that zone? And maybe the 5 minute, let's see what we have here. We're holding here though. This high needs to be taken out. We have equal highs here. Okay, in case we flip bullish, the whole market right now, the tether dominance is breaking down. So this is beautiful, right guys? You see it once again. Okay, the tether dominance is getting rejected here. A higher high, higher low. Higher high, yeah, set up, you know, very straightforward here. Yeah, targeting, of course, this liquidity above here, the trend line. Yeah, it's possible, and not my favorite, but there is a potential scenario here that you just simply hold at this area of support right now, because it goes hand in hand with this trend. It goes hand in hand with this range, which is also providing that support right there. The lot of confidence coming together why you could hold here. So if you then create internal highs, so number one, you break this high right here to the upside, you wait for a pullback one more time towards that trend or whatever the case may be, towards this low that created that higher high, and then your entry, then your execution of your trade right here, which then leads into this particular setup, which then could lead into a long right here, short stop loss below. So 25.23 long, 25.10 stop loss, 0.5% stop loss, and then yeah, coming back towards the highs. Yeah, who knows how far you can take it, but this is a potential scenario, okay, from the weekly to the lower time frame. But the goal eventually is still to bring price further down. That's just what we're looking for. I will add this one to the list right here. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Thank you, Pavel. Hope that answered your question, my friend. And also, thank you for putting in all the effort and work and the activity in the crypto VIP right here. If you guys are interested in joining our crypto VIP, you can join for free. What you need to do is you need to sign up right here. You need to follow the instructions. Sign up with one of our exchanges. We support BitGet, Bybit, and MXC. We're going to add on Phoenix as well, which has no KYC right now. Okay, which is amazing. We kind of need this right here as well. At least one non-KYC exchange. What you do is you deposit $100 on your account. You then sign up. We get a notification. We check if you have actually done that. And you need to have some trading activity on that account within 30 days. And that allows you to join, of course, our Signal channel that has been profitable as well here from trader Tim, Terminator Tim. Okay, and he's been crushing it tremendously already. In the crypto wins as well. People are winning. You know, people that are using Tim's signals right here and watching right now, place a comment, man. Share some love for Tim and share me what you think of the signals so far. Everything is tracked. Nothing is not transparent here in this channel. We're traders here. We're not here to tell and talk how good we are, what kind of amazing traders we are. No, we're talking about facts. So that's what you need to do, okay? Fantastic. Gala Games. Could be interesting here. All right. Metis, Bank, Avex. Let's look at Metis. Anna. Let's do spot first. Okay. All right, there we go. That's why sometimes you have to look at spot. Because of these futures, they're not listed. So then you have not that much data. You think that you're in an all-time high. But actually, when you look at the spot chart, that's just not the case here. So at this particular moment, major resistance incoming. Which is going to be right there, okay? Big range, big rejection potential. Yeah, wait to see how it goes, how price moves into that direction. Until then, I will not trade and look for any setup right now at the moment because you're so close to that zone. This is the confirmation that you want to see here. I do like it a lot. The lows here, fantastic. A lot of reasons to come down eventually. I think we have so much liquidity built up here. We're building an amazing trend as well here. I don't think you have to rush it. If you want to short this, wait for a break, wait for an internal break, and wait for that weekly rejection right there. Bullish potential. It's tough. It's tough. You have a big range right here also in the weekly. It's going to be very difficult right there in that range. Yeah. So, yeah, wait for price to push into the 133. Get to the weekly time frame. Set your levels. And wait for a rejection right there. Okay? Thomas is getting into its crypto. Yes. Yes. Thomas gets into crypto. Fantastic. Okay. AVEX. Yes, let's do AVEX right now. Because what AVEX is underperforming a little bit, I believe. It's still okay. Yeah, okay. No, it's getting rejected now. Rejection. On the weekly. Rejection. High, low, high, low. Okay, there is some potential here. Yeah, this low right here, right? This low right there is interesting. Now you already came from this low once. Nah, it's just not there yet. No, sorry, no, this is not. It's not there yet. So weekly resistance. I think that we might be coming down a bit more. This is not looking strong enough in my opinion. This was a clear pullback rejection play. Back towards this high. We took out previous highs, fantastic, to then flip again. You could easily say that even this could be a rejection play right here. So this is on the 4 hour. I know we have this zone right here, but the way there is just no momentum. There's no momentum. We have to feel the momentum sometimes as well here. That will be yeah. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of it. I think that you can flip this candle here bearish, and if you flip this candle bearish, I might just stick with the higher time frame and just literally wait for this flip here, stop loss above the highs, and then just try to target the next layers of of support and that level in that manner here. The structure in general here is just it's too neutral. It's too neutral right now for AVAX right here. From a buying standpoint, obviously right now where you want to buy is you want to buy at $29. That's clear. Okay, this is we're now at 35. Like from a buying standpoint, there is no doubt that if you can get 20% more on AVAX than you would get if you buy now, you would take that opportunity here. And so far, it seems that this is the direction we're heading towards. The 28.74, which is another 20% drop for AVAX, which I think is a very likely play here. At least for now here. Okay. Beautiful. Phantom we've done. Phantom we have done. There's an amazing setup, by the way, for Phantom right here. We have a Phantom setup ready for you guys. Okay, we're looking at a long position at 34.18, stop loss at 32.58. We have Gala games, lower time frame. If we break support, of course, that's invalidated. We look for that weekly level. Weekly level is going to be a key level for us. Amazing. And then we have Rose, which is bouncing off of a weekly level, which is great. This could lead into a very nice and beautiful trade setup towards the upside right here, which I'm very interested in. Long position at 10.0953, stop loss at 10.0618, which is a 3% stop loss. So that's what we have for now, at least. We need a couple more. What do you think about Shiba? Let's look at Shiba. Okay, Shiba Inu. Wow, look at how the weekly has been absolutely destroyed. Okay, we are now looking, we're starting to look better. We're starting to see that weekly flip here happening. So I like this one right here. I like the weekly highs. I like this range. I like how we're getting bought up here. There is some potential here. I like that zone. I like this zone in general. I like it. I like how we came in towards this big range. We expanded, we retraced, we expanded again. We're trying to push down again. This is like a 1 hour play. Very, very nice. Very, very nice here. Yeah, the 618 is where I'm interested in. The way we're building that liquidity is absolutely amazing. This is exactly that. This is the last low that created, you know, this major expansion to the upside. This was like the local high here where we got rejected from. So a retest of that low here, which is at 9 to 8, and 6 zeros before. Right there, stop loss below. Wait for further confirmation and then look for a bounce to the upside here. Back towards the highs one more time, which is going to come back towards this bigger range again. So something like that is what I'm looking for. So based upon the low, the high, the shift, the fake, the liquidity still built below that wick, and then that one more confirmation here. But yeah, looking for longs, looking for potential longs here, potentially coming from the weekly now towards the. Yeah, nice. Nice. I'm just gonna put here like these 1 hour entries here, but obviously, guys, you guys know that if you are truly interested in looking for lower time frame setups, that you always can. But the best place will be if you could see that lower time frame at least bounce from this 1 hour zone to then wait for that lower time frame confirmation here. But overall, I like it a lot. Thank you for sharing. I'm gonna add this one. Beautiful. We need a couple more charts, guys. We don't have enough. We don't have enough. We have 4. We need like 6 or something. 6 or 7. That would be good. The tether dominance is dropping. That's what we wanted to see. Amazing. Bitcoin is setting up. But you see that Bitcoin is not really pushing that significant. Why? Because the Bitcoin dominance is still coming down. Bitcoin dominance is still getting rejected here. We still see that we saw that reaction right there as well. This was a clear rejection that we saw right there. We created that lower low, we created a lower high. We're now pushing further down here. So Bitcoin is not coming down as effective as other potential setups that we're looking for, right now at this particular moment. Yeah, I'm still in the VeChain trade as well here. Yeah, hopefully this one will pick up. Right now, we'll see in a second how that goes here. Let's see, ICP, 1 HP Reaper PUBG. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, this is a beautiful confirmation, guys. Breakdown. Everything is aligning here. Okay, look at this. Let's go to the hourly. We're starting to flip bullish. So setups are coming into play. Let's look at ENJ, and ICP. Let's look at the ICP first. Boom. Boom. Okay. Are we trying to hold here? Not a big fan. Much more interested in the 8-hour chart, to be honest. Which is this zone, of course. Much more interested in waiting for price to push back towards the zone. And then pushing back, turning that into resistance. You know, you saw that initial zone here on the daily. That's why we see the daily level, right? So again, daily high. You break it, you flip it into support, you expand the 8-hour, lower low, higher high, beautiful expansion. Now it's that consolidation. So now we're building that range. What you now want to see is that manipulation down to tap into that zone, followed by a new expansion to the upside. So manipulation, reversal, expansion to the upside. Looking for the continuation here. You have that gap still that's not completely filled up. You could say, yeah, but we are now in that 4-hour zone. That's true. That's true. You are now in this zone here. But again, I'm much more interested in looking for at least one more expansion to the downside before, pushing further to the upside, right? Okay. We can add it to the list. I'm not sure how long this will take. And if it's still relevant, but I do believe it's important to mention it when it gets to that zone, because it's a beautiful zone, 8-hour, beautiful low, beautiful expansion, and it comes from the daily support, initially flipping it into, from initial resistance into support, and then look for continuation while we're at the same time, building some liquidity to the upside and filling up that gap. So it's like, it's the perfect package. Definitely worth it. Thank you. Then we had Injective for sure. Let's look at Injective as well here. Oh, what happened here? Okay, we came to that zone. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay, it was a 2-hour zone, right? Same thing as what we saw with the ICP. You see the same thing right now with injective. That's exactly what I was looking for. So this low, this high, now you see that retest, you create a higher high, you have that higher low. This could be your lower time frame confirmation, you create a new higher high, and you simply look for targets to the upside. So that's fantastic. Now, when coming and zooming in, obviously you have this breakout, retest, breakout, maybe retest. High, low, high, low, high, low, boom. Yeah, we have to take to the 15-minute. You can see that you're shifting here. And I think the targets they're looking for is this range, which is at $41. I think that's the target here. 41.2. We're now sitting at 38.97. So we still have some room to go here at this particular moment. So I think that I'm going to use the fixed zone profile for this one. That's why I'm facing resistance here right now. Yeah. 37.656. Aligning fantastically with a beautiful area of support here. You can see that right now. Support, resistance, resistance, support, 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 support. And then pushing us down towards this particular zone. This is where I want to see price drawn towards to. So it's a 70.5% horizontal support, point of control. And then of course, beautiful lower low, higher high, higher low scenario. Wait for confirmation, boom. $41 is our target right here. So this is why I love crypto so much here, because once they go, once we have the sentiment in our favor, these things can happen so fast. It's very easy to catch these really high risk reward setups here when understanding the sentiment. It's so hard to predict it in Forex what the exact sentiment is. You have to go much deeper into specific topics to determine what they're truly trying to do here. In crypto, it's very ABC as long as you are patient enough and are not rushing into your positions. I feel like the moment I started rushing trade setups because I'm so excited for myself to play out here, that's the moment when I really started to lose more. But when I just am patient, do like my one time a day, my watch list, building my watch list, look at like one time a day, what are the two scenarios that could play out here and what would invalidate these scenarios. And if I just, do this every day and I set up my setups here, then you can see that we have, something, coming along here. There's always a beautiful setup that plays out here. And, it's easy to then get into these 3, 4, 5 to 1s, and compensate for your losses, but not every single trade obviously is going to play out here. But if you're in long setups and later on, and we're just preparing right now for the bull run, because it's not the case yet. We're kind of, topping out here. We're creating like a local top for Bitcoin, obviously right now. You guys saw these weekly levels that we're talking about. The moment we start really going into bull run territory, and you start getting into these type of long setups that you're seeing right now, right here, that's the moment where you can start holding 20% of your portfolio of your trade and just let it run. Let it run and see where it takes you. Because if you do that with like a tremendous amount of trades, I'm telling you, sky is the limit. In a bull run, sky is the absolute limit here. Okay? So that's not the case right now, but that will be the case later on. So ja, fantastic. Oma, kijk mee. Geweldig. Hi, oma. Ik hou van jou. ik hoop snel weer in Nederland te zijn. Binnenkort, binnenkort. All right. Billy Joe says render and races Link. That's a good one. Link has been doing well. Maybe not particularly from like a charting perspective, but Link has been doing really, really good. Okay. We are at resistance though, so we have to take that in consideration. But if you go here to the 30-minute, Link is doing really, really well here. So you have this beautiful consolidation, expansion, retracement, expansion right now. The only thing I would say right now is that it gets very, very dangerous to long here. And the reason why is because you're now in that weekly resistance right here. Okay, you are in a weekly area of supply. You have been getting rejected there tremendously as well. We open bullish, but not really strong because we're facing that resistance already right here from this previous body, also on the weekly time frame. So longing here is very, very, very dangerous in my opinion. So if the market shifts, okay, then shorting might be the better option. But the shorting right now is not there yet. We're not there yet either. Okay, even though it looks like a great setup here, you could say, okay, yeah, we got rejected right now, and we create like a lower low. Fantastic, a lower high followed by a continuation down. Could be interesting. So I might add this one as a potential short trade if the sentiment changes here. Why? Because we're from the 4-hour standpoint, we are setting up for a short position based upon the weekly rejection, the 4-hour rejection, and then a pullback into the highs, potentially moving down here. But because the market now is flipping bullish, the Tether dominance is coming down, the Bitcoin dominance is very weak here, okay? Bitcoin is starting to make a move. Shorting Link right now is maybe not the right way to go. So again, we could add this though when the market sentiment shifts. And if that's the case, what you look for is of course a clear pullback a little bit further down, up towards this zone, rejection, or an aggressive rejection in case we flip in a matter of time already. Okay, right here, and then just simply wait for a lower low on the lower time frames, 15-minute, boom, entry. Wait for the confirmation because of the sentimental change here. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I like it. I like it tremendously. How do you select zones for perfect entries? I think there are a couple things that you need to know. Like I said before, it's super important. Let's use the next chart and I'll explain exactly how you can do that. Okay. We have Link, ICP, Shiba Inu, Gala, Phantom, and Rose. Okay. STX, render at weekly support. Okay, beautiful. Render. Okay. Your question, how do you select zones, or how do you select zones for perfect entries? Well, number one, macro to micro is absolutely key. Okay. Understand how the market opens, how the market closes, how the weekly candle opens, and how the weekly candle closes. Okay. The weekly candle is the most powerful tool that most beginning traders neglect because they think that the weekly takes months to play out, or whatever the case may be. A certain bias where they don't think it's really necessary. Well, I tell you, it's the most powerful tool when understanding weekly time frame here. So weekly support right there, okay, at 27334. They have this next range as well, indeed, at 3.3874. Okay, then we go to the lower time frame. Then it's time for the 4-hour first to start looking at structure. Okay, what is the current structure? What's happening right here, right now? Well, let me just make sure we have the right chart here. No, like I said, okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so that's why spot is so important. So weekly levels right here. Okay, number one, key level 2743. Secondary key level 4675. Okay, you're now in a weekly range. This was the bottom. This is where the previous high was built. You could easily flip this into support. And of course, this was the previous resistance with the confirmation. So within that gap, we're talking about a 70% window. Now you know in what kind of territory you can act. This is your range. This is where you will not have any surprises, okay? When you neglect the weekly time frame and you take a beautiful 5-minute entry and your price, boom, hits the weekly resistance and you're not aware of it, you're gonna get destroyed. You're gonna get wrecked, okay? So you don't want this to happen to you. You want to always be aware of the higher time frame setups, especially when looking at the lower time frame as well in this case. Okay. Now you're in that window right here. Okay, so these are the key levels. So now you can kind of see, okay, what happened in that overall window right here. Well, you can now kind of see where you are. This was the last low, and this is the high. You now are kind of bouncing off of the 50%. So you see that, you know, this was the low. That was the final low before that major break into that range. This created that weekly break. That's why the low that I selected here for the Fibonacci was the low that created that expansion of that weekly high. Therefore, I draw it from the lows right there. And you can see clearly that from that particular low, you know, we're now kind of pulling back into the 50% here. I think it's too early to start looking for long setups. I think it's much more interesting to start looking at, you know, this range right here. And then it comes down to the 1-hour chart, for example. And just to highlight some of these ranges that you're looking for that are maybe interesting price action, you know, ranges. And the reason why you want to highlight these ranges sometimes is because you want to, you know, kind of use that range as data. From this particular moment, you could see that the last range that you see here, we manipulated the lows and we flipped the highs here. So this is a very interesting low to look at, in my opinion. Why? Because that low automatically aligns very well with the 70.5 and 79% as well from the Fibonacci, like we talked about right here. So where that manipulation, you know, took place, which is right at this zone, this is where I want to draw like a major zone right here. Okay, so if price gets to one of these levels, boom, I get an alert, I get a reaction here. Another one is the internal structure. So, you know, another layer is that this low that we created here already came into that range. It probably bounced off of the point of control or something in that matter. Yeah, perfectly, right? The point of control, right there. As clean as it gets, okay? 3.38987170, okay? That's where we initially came from. So let me highlight this one more time real quick. There we go. Beautiful. Boom. Perfection. Okay, now that's a good sign. Okay, it came back to the point of control, and what did it do? It created an internal higher high. So lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We're now coming back down to manipulate the lows. Why? Aggressive move, stop losses below, want to take them out. Stop losses are here. We will enter where most people get stopped out, which is going to be right there. So again, we had the weekly time frame, 4-hour, swing low, swing high, Fibonacci. Where are we? Are we at like a discounted territory, a premium territory? The 1-hour, 2-hour ranges, consolidations when understanding the swing low and swing high ranges. Then it's time to wait for the bounce. Then it's time to wait for the confirmation. Market structure is key. Lower time frame, confirmation. So medium time frame, point of interest. Lower time frame confirmation. Okay. Then it's looking for example, a push down towards the downside right here. Lower low, internal higher high, boom. Momentum shift, long, boom, breakout, entry, done. Could be an aggressive entry. Right there, target the tops, 4-1 on your money. Fantastic. Do this 4 times, one will play out, you make money. That's it. That's trading. Now, the higher the risk reward, the better it can be. So it's up to you. But again, you can also wait for higher high, higher low, looking for that continuation as well here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. For now, that's the level to look at for render. Yeah, it's interesting. Last thing I wanted to add here, it's important as well here that if you are interested in learning how to trade as well, we are, potentially even going to set up right now, or we have set up our crypto mentorship. We have a very tough selection process because we do not have that much time whatsoever. We're super busy what we're doing here, of course, on YouTube, in Discord, the signals, the structure, you name it, right? But there are definitely coming some spots available in the near future. We have a waiting list right now, so if you're interested in joining, click on the crypto mentorship and you will be updated for that waiting list right there. If you truly want to get everything out of, the next possible bull run here, don't fuck up. Okay, a couple more charts here. And that's it for today. And then we have a beautiful list. We're gonna exactly post all the setups that are played out here potentially or have the most potential in this section right here in the YouTube setups section. So if you're new, I highly recommend you to join here because this is the trades that we take only from the live streams that I post right in this chart as well. It's important that you're updated when something gets very interesting, okay? Beautiful. Matic, that's one. And then the last one is the Matic and Harmony 1. OMG. OMG. Okay. Okay, OMG. Tether breaking down. Bitcoin starting slowly but steadily to come up here. The Bitcoin numbers are starting to push a little bit. Low, high, fantastic. 4 hour. Lowest point, nice. Yeah, you have that 4 hour zone here. You're right at a 4 hour zone, which is an interesting zone to look at. This usually is some sort of, W formation. You create a bigger W formation, you come up. But you need that confirmation, and the confirmation comes from... It is looking good. The 15-minute. Okay. Break to the upside right here. Yeah, it's actually looking very, very good here. We manipulate the lows. You want to see at least a higher high. The way we're building up this liquidity is fantastic. Then the higher low, then your trade. It's a repeatable process. You've seen it so many times in the charts right here. Okay, so one more time. Right there, this top, the top, the top. You want to at least break that trend, which is then automatically breaking the high that created that lower low. Or, I'm not sure here, or no, maybe even a manipulation here one more time. Followed by a higher high, followed by a higher low. I think that we need to wait a little bit more. Now I'm looking at it right now. I don't know why I thought this, but this is clearly, equal lows right here. It comes from this zone. I get why it comes from this zone here. But the momentum is not that strong. So Yeah, this low right here. Lower low. Higher high, higher low. Boom. Wait for that level to be broken regardless, because this is still the high that put in the last low. So we need to break this high first. So let's set an alert at this high. And if we then, break it, we can always talk about a pullback position here. A pullback entry right here. Tether coming down exactly like we wanted right there. I expected it to come back up a little bit higher. But no, this is good stuff, man. And if you look on the 4 hour, that's why I constantly talk about a potential bounce for Bitcoin right now. Is one more time, the liquidity significant. Significant right here, okay, to the upside. At the same time, we have been already coming down 15%. That's significant as well for Bitcoin right now. You're building this type of pattern every single time when we type or build this pattern here. I've seen it so many times. Breaking out here. I'm not really a breakout trader where I'm gonna enter at the breakout. It's too tricky right now. But I am liking what I'm seeing here, and I do think that coming from levels like that, you can start coming down again. But again, that short-term bounce could create a lot of opportunity for us right now in the short term. So far, our bias is fantastic. But look at Tether here. If we start flipping below the 5.76%, you start coming down towards this low. And this is a serious move to the downside for Tether. So that could lead into a really nice, strong bounce here for the cryptocurrency or the cryptocurrency market right there. Okay. Beautiful. All right. I think that's. I think we have pretty decent leads, guys. What do you guys think for today? We got Rose. We got Phantom. We got Gala. We got Shiba Inu. We got ICP. We got Link. In case we flip bearish. And we got Render. Okay. Also very interesting right here. So let's put them right there. Beautiful, guys. Amazing. Okay. Absolutely fantastic here. Let me fix something real quick here. For everyone who's not really a big believer of the cryptocurrency market here, I just wanted to say to you, at least let's watch one more video. I think this is absolutely key here. Okay. Larry Fink, one more time, the BlackRock CEO here. We can't neglect this. We cannot neglect this guy right there. Okay, we just cannot. Just listen to what he says here about the cryptocurrency market. Okay, let's have a little sneak peek right here. If it's working though, it's working. Fantastic.
First time we've had an opportunity to talk to you about it, which is Bitcoin, the Bitcoin ETF. We're going to be talking to Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, who made that decision reluctantly, maybe even begrudgingly, which was announced just 2 days ago, and we talked a lot about yesterday on the broadcast. How big a deal is that for BlackRock? And this was for you a big switch as well, because you were a naysayer for a very long time.
Yeah, I probably switched. For the first 3 years of thinking about it, I was a naysayer, and about 2 years ago, I switched. And I'm actually, as I said in the last 2 years, I'm a big believer.
A big believer,
personally. Meaning, is the Fink family
all right?
A Bitcoin buyer or a buyer?
Let's go a little bit to the end here. No need to watch everything right there.
Do you think that Gary, and we'll talk to him later, Gary Gensler will have to approve an Ethereum ETF? And is that a function of something the SEC has to do, or do you think that all these things have to go to court first?
I couldn't respond to that.
Very important.
I see value in having an Ethereum ETF. As I said, these are just stepping stones towards tokenization. And I really do believe this is where we're going to be going. We have the technology to tokenize today. If you want to think about this. If you had a tokenized security and you have a tokenized identity, you, Andrew, the moment you buy or sell an instrument, it is known. It's on a general ledger that is all created together. You want to talk about issues around money laundering and all that. This eliminates all corruption by having a tokenized system.
Jamie Dimon disagrees with you on that, but...
Larry Fink says, okay, he believes heavily into the tokenization of the world, okay? Not just literally, cryptocurrencies and just an ETH, whatever, spot ETF, which is going to come as well for Ethereum right now. We're going to talk about this in a second here because it's super important for us from one more time, like an investment standpoint right now in a hype. Everyone is going to talk about it soon. You want to be ahead of the game here. But most importantly, what he's stating right now is that the whole world is going to get tokenized. So sooner or later, they realize this system is unbreakable. It's better to get everything into that system where everything is traceable, everything is trackable, everything is decentralized, and we know exactly what is happening from all fronts right here. Okay? 2 factors: mass corruption, number 1, mass control, number 2, because everything becomes public. Third, though, it could also result into freedom. All right? Everything has its ups and downs here, but again, it's a beautiful statement from Larry Fink, and I do think this is a fantastic start of our journey here. And this proves one more time, guys, that we're so extremely early right now at this particular moment in this game right now. And that's why I think that if you're watching here, you think that everyone knows about crypto right now. Everyone is talking about crypto. Well, let me tell you this. Nobody is truly talking about crypto at this particular moment. Everyone was for a while, but it's still a minority of people in this world here that are now focused on this currency market, on what's happening right here. There are tons of people that don't even know what an ETF is. Okay, so one more time here, before we close out here, one more time, it's important to mention that you have to pay very, very close attention to what Ethereum is going to do here during the next coming days or even weeks ahead of us here. We all know that in February and March, Ethereum ETF is next. The conspiracy and everything that we're looking for Ethereum right here, that's coming along here, which everyone is talking about. The next big ETF here, Ethereum, XRP, you name it. All the other ones are next here. Obviously, we know that Ethereum is coming along very, very shortly. So I want you to pay very close attention to this chart here. Again, if you flip bearish, it is what it is. We might be pushing down, but that could also mean the perfect buy opportunity for you, both as a futures trader, but also from an investment standpoint. Okay, thank you guys so much here. I truly appreciate all of you here. It was an amazing stream as always. We have some setups. I hoped you learned something. And once again, I'm here for you. We are here for you. Limitless Crypto. Gonna see you guys tomorrow again. All right? Let's see how these charts play out. Let's make some money together, fam. Peace out. I see you in Discord. And again, keep the vibe going. Put in the effort and you'll get there. All right. See you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Peace out. Oh, no, wait. Press that like button one more time. And please place a comment below under this video. I would highly appreciate it. It helps the algorithm grow, helps the community grow faster. Thank you very much. Bye, bye, bye.